Welcome everybody in. It is a Sunday night here at the MMS McCullough Motorsports Sunday Night Money Racing. I am your host Michael Triscaro of PGR eSports, and we want to apologize to all viewers tuning in tonight. iRacing had some technical difficulties, so we had some trouble getting all these drivers into the session here tonight. But it looks like so far so good. Everyone has gotten underway with qualifying here tonight. You could see plenty of onboard cameras. It'll be Trevin Ashronoff, Jeff Merck, Joe Horta, Matthew Baker, Jared Haynes, Richard Elliott. We will have live webcam action from those 6 drivers here tonight as we get set to grid here for the McCullough Motorsports race here tonight. As right now it looks like Atchison will be your pole sitter, making sure I'm going to get back up to live here, make sure we're all set to go as we get these drivers ready to grid on up here tonight. As you see on the screen, the SummerSlam 499 will be the first marquee event for PGR, and it'll take place this Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th, 2024. Head on over to pgresports.com and you'll find a link to the registration form and all the details on summer's biggest iRacing event, the SummerSlam 499. And a lot of drivers you'll see here tonight already signed up for the SummerSlam 499, so should be a good preview at the track and the car, the Xfinity car that we'll be using for that race. So awesome, way to showcase what we're going to be doing for the PGR SummerSlam event here tonight. And looking forward to bringing some great racing here. A couple things changed. We'll be going to 50 laps. That'll be 50 laps here tonight for McCullough Motorsports. It was supposed to be 60. They cut that back just a little bit. And after those 50 laps, we are going 100% fuel. It'll be 3 green, white checkers. So 1 faster pair here tonight. So we should have some good racing. Looks like quite a big field here tonight, even though we had iRacing went down as we literally were set to open this lobby. So glad we're able to still bring this race to you. So on the PGR eSports Network, I have no help tonight, but should still be a good time here in the booth. Devin Ray in the chat and Mike Davenport as well. So those guys tuning on in. Does not look like they're in the race, so hopefully we'll get some feedback from those boys here tonight. If anyone wants to join me in the booth, let me know. We'll pull you in here tonight. It'd be nice to get some more feedback from some other drivers as we watch what should be a really good race here tonight. And might have a chance to pull in Tyler Vickery as we get going live here. Ooh, Cody Neagles, he's in action here tonight. He just went to the top of the board. And the 6th car, and we are going to be heading to gridding here. And we will go right up front with the man himself, Cody Neagles, and bring you your starting lineup. And there it is, Cody Neagles from Nightmare Motorsports eSports. Actually, he will start in the first position. On the outside front row, Jesse Atchison, Jeffrey Merck of NBG, and Matthew Lee. They'll be on the second row in positions 3 and 4. Mark Vondell, he will start 5th tonight. A great qualifying spot for him. David Sheets, his teammate from McCullough Motorsports, will start 6th. Landon Bellicke for One Stop Motorsports will start 7th. Danny Barnes for Hyper Motorsports 8th. Joe Horter, Team KSR, will start 9th. A new name to me, at least, Wyatt Gray, he will start 10th. Starting 11th tonight, the One Stop Motorsports machine of Jared Haynes. And starting 12th will be Chris Walker. Starting 13th from Carolina will be Nathan Harper. And from BAR, Richard Elliott, he'll start in the 14th position. Starting 15th will be McCullough Motorsports' Ron Morris Jr. And starting 16th will be Team KSR's Trevin Ashronoff. Starting 17th here tonight, Jeffrey Merck's teammate in the MBG Motorsport 5, Matthew Baker. Dylan Jones will start 18th. D3, Daniel Eberhard, the third, he'll start 19th with Nash Brambilla of Team PGR starting in the 20th position. Starting 21st will unfortunately not be me because I'm in the broadcast booth, so it'll be Joshua McCullough. Starting 22nd will be Kenneth McCullough. Starting 23rd will be Joey Allen of BAR. Starting 24th will be William H. Scott Jr. Starting 25th will be Jimmy Emos. And starting 26th here tonight from KSR to be Kenny Stamper. So that is your starting lineup here tonight. As we get set to go 50 laps here in what should be an action-packed race here at Talladega Superspeedway. You see the 6 drivers carrying an onboard camera here tonight, and should be a good one. We'll try to get some driver interviews. Tyler Vickery is in the waiting room, and we will try to get him in here momentarily as we just pulled up Tyler Vickery to help give me a hand here tonight. Tyler, nice of you to join us, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Could have been a little better, especially the chaos that happened Saturday night for me over at New Smyrna. Other than that, pretty good. Looking forward to watching this awesome little race here, especially with Kenny McAuliffe's good little McAuliffe Money Series. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it should be a good race. I know you're probably new up here to the booth, but when we do get going green, we'll let them turn them loose for a lap. We'll take them off turn number 4 during the first lap. We'll let all our viewers hear the roar of these engines come to life here at Talladega Superspeedway. But before this gets going, Tyler, you've been in a lot of these races, and we do have one fast repair tonight. Looks like 100% fuel in 50 laps. Where's your head at the start of these? Are you trying to get to the front? Are you trying to stay in the back and wait for the big one to happen in front of you? What's kind of your mindset going in races like this?
Normally for me, I'm the one that likes to stay in the back. I'd rather just let all their crashes happen. Granted though that's without a fast repair, but with having the fast repair and lately with my luck, I think it's going to be a little better to try to jump up to the front, try to stay up to the front, stay in the pack, and just knock out the green flag pit stops at the right time.
Well, there you heard it from a guy that is a very good driver, one of the key cogs on the PGR team on Monday nights. He will stay in the booth with me momentarily. The pace car is off and heading down pit road. Your pole sitter Cody Nichols in the 6th and Jesse Atchison in the 28th. They will lead you down to green as we get close here to the Geico restart zone. And the green flag is out at Talladega Superspeedway. And here, and we have a wreck right outside of turn number 4. And we stay green right now, but here we go.
Mark
Yellow is
Vondel.
going to be out early.
Yeah, Mark Vondel, massive hit over at the pit attenuator. Oh my goodness, the whole front nose is gone. The left front actually, so that's an instant tow for Mark Vondel. Faster repair for sure. Boy, big hits. Joe Herta also involved, and Trevor also.
Well, the yellow flag is out, and we are going to pick you guys up coming outside of turn number 4. We're going to slow this down for everybody right here, and we'll kind of get a good idea of what happened. You look at the leaders in the front. Matthew Lee, the 04, is pushing the 28. Not sure if he hooked them. It looks like he did. Atchinson's going to come down, get into the 6 of Cody Nichols. He'll have some damage. He was able to control the car. Atchinson's still a little out of whack right there. You see Jeffrey Merck trying to stay out of it. Mark Vondel. Mark Vondel's going to head to the inside wall, probably hit the inside wall there. We'll see if we can pick that up. We're going to go back just a little bit here and try to
Big
dissect
hit.
everything that happened. So if we're going to try to ride alongside Mark Von Dell here in real time, you see him. Wow, what a hit inside wall for Mark Von Dell. That's going to be a faster pair for him in the 59 machine. And I'll tell you what, Tyler, he might be towing around to get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be usually here when we have a caution big wreck like that. Normally, tows here are around 3 to 4 minutes. Could be wrong, but normally when I've been involved in a big wreck like that, it's about 4 minutes on.
Well, I got a good view right here. We're in the chopper view. We're going to slow it down again, and you could see the stack up that happened in the middle here. It looks like Wyatt Gray, Richard Elliott, Trevor Ashburnoff. He's going to take a pounding into the outside wall. Nash Brambilla, the 54, the 62 machine. So I'll tell you what, man, we have some damaged race cars here early. There's the one stop motorsport, that red and white. He's in it. There goes Richard Elliott in the O2, and I'll tell you what, that's a pretty big one here early. Not oftentimes you see one on the first lap, but we're gonna have that here tonight, and just complete carnage here on lap number 1. So hopefully that's not a sign of what's to come in this one as we get back up to live here, and we'll catch up with our field. Looks like Jimmy Emos, your leader here at Talladega.
Yep, and looks like too both Jimmy and William Scott did not pit. Meanwhile, David Sheets, Cody Neggles, Joe Herta, the rest of the field. Actually, it looks like a lot of them took fuel. Looks like Cody Neggles may have took some damage repairs. Nathan Harper as well. Few other drivers further back: Danny Barnes, Jesse Ashton, Ron Morris Jr., Matt Lee. A lot of those drivers probably using their saving their fast repair, as we've got about, I'm looking through some of the timing, we got about like 30 seconds of pit time sitting in the box, so about half of the field involved with some kind of damage.
Yeah, a lot of damage there, and like we said, everyone had one fast repair, and a lot of them being used up here early. Pace car lights are still on, so we're gonna have to go around one more time before we take the green. The chat is heating up right now, and just to remind all our viewers, we are set back here tonight just a little bit because iRacing was down when the lobby originally opened, so that's why we got off to a late start here tonight. Checking with Mark Math and make sure my mic is set a little bit higher. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. Mark, just let us know. It's always good to hear from everybody watching and make sure we can improve our broadcast situation here, so that's a good thing. But had a good thing for a lot of drivers here early, and we'll have to see right now if they calm down just a little bit there after lap number 1. But man, crazy start to this one.
Yeah, absolutely crazy one. Especially with some of the wrecks, that big wreck we just had. I think now a lot of the drivers mentally are like, all right, well, a few people are going to be start realizing don't have their fast repairs, going to have to try to play a little smarter. I think there's other drivers that still have their fast repair. They're probably looking at, like, I would say for myself, like, look strategy wise, like, all right, you've got your fast repair still, you were able to avoid the wreck. Let's just try to make laps, be cautious as well, and try not to avoid any kind of another big one like we had on lap 2, especially with how aggressive some of these drivers have already been on lap 1.
Yeah, you talk about that aggression, and I'll tell you what, it's a long race, 50 laps. No need to be aggressive super early. We do have 26 drivers in this field, so a little bit smaller of a field. No need to get to the front super early, but it seems like, just a little bad push there from Matt Lee there on the top side. And tell you what, it jumbled up the field a little bit. It's going to be Jimmy Emos there in the 98 and the 19 of William H. Scott Jr. Going to lead them down here to green. David Sheets in third, Nathan Harper in fourth, Jared Haynes rounding out your top 5. So we'll see how this shapes up. My mic is louder now. Had to turn that up. Thank you, Mark Math, for watching, letting us know.
Yeah, my mic's a little more sensitive.
Well, I've been actually did watch a broadcast back from a week or two ago and noticed that myself. And I think, yeah, much better now, so that's a good thing. Pace car is off-field onto pit road. And this should be an interesting restart with the 98 and the 19 leading them down here to green with a lot of hungry drivers behind them. We are in the tri-oval approaching the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is back into the air at Talladega.
Very, very staggered start, as well as Jimmy Emos got a big jump. David Sheets, I think he's being a little cautious as well, waiting and seeing what's happening at the back of the field, while William Scott and Nathan Harper, I believe, is on the outside. Nathan Harper giving William H. Scott a nice little push there coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, coming outside of turn number 2 here. Jimmy Emos holding the zone here tonight. And I'll tell you what, he's worked on his craft. I know it's come a long way since his first money race. And we've seen him up here a couple times, actually. But it'd be nice to see if that 98 Acme machine could stay up front. I'll tell you what, guess who's coming right now? It's in that lime green prime machine. It's Nathan Harper in the number 4, carrying that SummerSlam 499 logo on the front. He is the king of officials and draft masters. He'll tell you himself. And I'll tell you what, holding the zone here, he's getting pushed by the 30 of Kenny Stamper. And here comes Nathan Harper leading the middle lane.
Yeah, and got 3 wide further back. Also, I noticed Matthew Lee dove into the pits. I don't know if he had a drive-through penalty or something, but Matthew Lee is off the pack as we're 3 wide further back. Whoa, got some people diving off. William H. Scott saying, I do not want to be involved in any of this, as we got 3 wide for the lead right now.
Well, yeah, here comes Matthew Baker. You see him right there on your screen. And he's going to clear down to the middle, and he's going to be right in front of Nathan Harper now. And I wouldn't doubt they're going to work a little bit together. Might not be in a Discord together, but Matthew Baker was the painter of that 4 machine. And here they are, the 4 and the 5, leading that middle lane. Here goes the 28 down. That is Jesse Atchison. And that's going to open up the door for a driver that is really up and coming. That is the one-stop I can't get that right tonight. The one-stop motorsport 62 machine of Landon Velicki.
Give it some time. It'll take a little bit. Trevor Osinoff, though, is just absolutely shoving the daylights out of Landon Velicki there, as we're still 3 wide for the lead. Nathan kind of stuck in the middle, getting some help by, I believe, Daniel Eberhardt in the 90, as Landon now jumps in front of Nathan. Trevor Osinoff is now going to lead the outside lane, coming out to the backstretch. Actually, no, my bad. Coming out of turn 4. Still 2 by 2 for the lead. However, we are still 3 wide further back.
As you see him, as Tyler spoke, the 89 of Trevin Astronaut, he's going to lead the top lane. Getting pushed by Walker there from KSR. So KSR train here on top. Trevin Astronaut from the south side of Augusta. You see him in the right-hand corner of your screen. Sawing on that wheel and trying to get to the front early. And we have issues.
Oh, big hit as well for Landon Velicki, Matthew Baker. Both motors have expired as well.
Yeah, and we're going to have to stay up front with you right here as Nathan Harper goes to the lead. And yes, we have some big issues here early, as you caught them. It's a little bit harder for me to catch, but like you said, was it Landon Velicki, Matthew Baker there off the pace? And I'll tell you what, that might be the end of their nights right there.
Yeah, that was rough too. It looked like Landon Velicki just got a little loose and overturned it and turned himself into Matthew Baker. I could be 100% wrong myself, but just from that quick angle I had, that was just, it looked like Landon got loose and there was just nothing that could happen. We're still 2 by 2 with both Trevor Osinoff and Daniel Eberhardt leading both packs. As meanwhile, got a little PGR second row here with Nathan Harper and Nash Brambilla pushing Daniel Eberhardt and Trevor Osinoff respectively.
I see that same thing. Here comes the Nash Brambilla machine. There he is in the 25. Daniel Eberhardt. Wow, he's going to go to the middle. Now he's going to jump all the way to the top. We stay 2 by 2, the 90, and that wall white with the blue numbers. That is D3 Daniel Eberhardt right to the front of this one, wasting no time here tonight. You see Nathan Harper now getting pushed by the 60 machine of Jeffrey Merck, as Daniel Eberhardt's going to go down here in the turn and keep those temps fresh behind him.
Yep, and then Daniel Eberhardt's going to be doing a lot of moving blocking as well. Meanwhile, actually, never mind. Nashville Bill is getting a hell of a push to Trevor Azaroff here. Azaroff's going to have an opportunity here on the backstretch. Possibly might have a big run here. Meanwhile, the 23 further up, I believe that is Chris Walker's trying to get that third line going, but just not working out so well as he's fishtailing a little bit there, but that third line is just not working.
And we are on board here with Jeff Murr. And look at the back of the car of Nathan Harper, man. That's the guy right there. That's Donald Trump's mugshot. And what a sight to behold here right now as Jeffrey Merck is pushing Nathan Harper. And you could just see, though, here in the turns, how much these cars want to bounce up and down the racetrack, especially here on the bottom side. You got to avoid that apron at all costs with your left side tires. And this gives our viewers a really good look at the bump drafting and the pushing going down the straightaway here. But you know, it's not easy to drive. It looks a lot easier when we're zoomed way out like we are here. But when you're in those cockpits, I'll tell you what, those cars want to move a lot more than it looks.
I can attest to that. Even with having like a really strong steering ratio and even an offset where you have it nice and clean, it will throw you around. You have to really grip that steering wheel at times, just trying to make sure you have put your inputs in correctly, because sometimes one little wrong input, and if the wheel does one little thing, if you touch a little bit of the apron, it is going to kick you back, and it's going to kick you back hard. So it's like trying to just keep that wheel as steady as you can. It's going to be the best opportunity, but it's hard. You have to fight that wheel the entire time, as Nathan gives a nice little push there to Daniel Eberhardt and just does not get any momentum as we're 3 wide for second.
Yeah, looks 60 of Jeff Merck there in the sucker hole. He's going to lose some spots. We'll see if he can get picked up. I'll tell you what, wow, we almost had an incident here in the front. Daniel Eberhard made the right decision by staying in the middle. He is going to be picked up by 60 of Jeff Merck. We are 3 wide. Nash Brambilla, he's going to lead the third lane. But the 89 machine, Trevor Nashroth, he is going to be the leader. Let's see if he can lead this lap. Doesn't look like he's going to, as here comes the forward Nathan Harper. The race is on for first right now.
Yeah, race is on indeed. It's coming to the line by, oh my goodness, dead even split coming to the line, but Nathan Harper took it at the line. Meanwhile, D3 is pushing Trevor Azaroff, and Jesse Atchison is trying to push Nathan Harper up into the point. But look at that big run, though, for Daniel Eberhardt and Trevor Azaroff as 2x2 still. And we got the third line is actually building up there. I believe that is Nash Brambilla up on the high side, and he's going to try to put his name into the mix.
Yeah, and I see Joe Horta. He is hanging out right now here on the top lane. And the Jack Shack #1 machine for Team KSR from Fontana, California. It's Joe Horta. You see him sawing on the wheel here tonight with his blue gloves. So looking to get to the front as he's got some numbers here in this race with his Team KSR guys. As Trevor Astronaut will stay leading this race. We are about 10 to 11 laps away from being halfway here tonight. So far an action-packed race as we are 3 wide. And you know, some of these guys, I'll tell you what, they are being pretty aggressive, and I'm loving the racing action here tonight.
Oh, yes, I am too. It's everyone's getting really racy out there. So we're still 3 wide now for the lead. Nash Brambilla got a huge run. Oh, never mind. Daniel Eberhardt put a little bit of side draft on it and just stopped it right then and there. As we got 3 lappers further ahead. Now, this is going to cause a real big stir here as they come around the trioval.
It sure is. And remember, if you just joined us, it was Landon Belicky, Matthew Baker had some big issues during this green flag run, so they are way off the pace, and they will be getting close to being a lap down here. And so unfortunate for them. Mark Fondell also has some issues, as is Matthew Lee, Joey Allen. So right now these guys are looking for a caution, but so far these guys are racing hard and staying clean. As you see Trevor Astronaut come back up to block the middle lane. Nash Brambilla is going to be the smart move. He's going to file back in, and we're back 2 by 2.
And these guys are 2 by 2. I think I have noticed the pace has started to slow a little bit. I think some of these drivers are starting to maybe look at having ideas of some pit strategy, saving fuel. Right now, everyone other than Jimmy Emos and William H. Scott both pitted in that caution on lap 2 and lap 3. So probably going to be about halfway down on fuel, I want to say, but we might be starting to get to some green flag stops here in about another, I'd say about 10 laps roughly.
Yeah, we're featuring here, this is Richard Elliott, and unfortunate for him, he is off the pace as well from Little River Academy. He's hanging out here with Jimmy Emos, just trying to keep pace. He's looking for a caution here early.
Yeah, Richard Elliott was, I believe, one of those cars involved in that wreck. As they're trying their best to stay up there. As we got one car way up high, 3 wide. I believe that is Kenny McAuliffe all by himself, but he's using a little bit of side draft, trying to just keep that momentum there. But him being all by himself is not going to be really beneficial.
No, it is not. We are 2x2 here through the tribal. Nathan Harper in the 4. I'll tell you what, he's making a name for himself tonight. We do know him from a lot of the draft masters, but he's come onto the money scene of late, and it's a little bit tougher to break through here. There's the best of the best drivers in Super Speedway reside in the money races of PGR, Apollo Motorsports, RMR. That's just, you're going to find the cream of the crop. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, is that Allen up there ahead? He might have got in the wall.
Yeah, I think that was because he fell off the top those 3 lappers further ahead, and he jumped up to the high lane super aggressively and almost took himself out, and then almost possibly the entire field. That was a scary moment.
Now let's show you guys right now. Up ahead is Matthew Baker, Matt Lee, Landon Velke. They're running nose to tail right here. But here comes the pack. They're going to catch them here most likely on this lap or the next lap. And we'll see if they can hang on and who. It's going to be really a race to stay on the lead lap. And we'll have to see how racy they get as this pack comes up on them, because only one of them can get the lucky dog. And we'll have to see how that ends up shaping out. Here comes the pack right now, being led by the 4 machine of Nathan Harper in that lime green. In the 28, that is Jesse Atchison, Trevin Astronaut in the 89, Kenny Stamper in the 30, Daniel Hebert in the 90. That is your top 5.
Yeah, and Matt Lee's going to be the one that he's going to have to fight with Mark Von Dell, I believe, and Joey Allen for lucky dog, because Matthew Baker and Landon Velke are both going to fall now 2 laps down after the big crash that they both had earlier on.
Well, they must have had a hit or something there. Definitely missed that. But yeah, if they are going 2 laps down, that's going to be almost insurmountable here tonight unless we get some cautions. So you are right on that, and we'll have to see how this all shapes out. There goes the 60 of Jeff Merck. He's going to jump the 3rd. He is teammates with the 5. So the 5 will be helping that 60 out right now, you know, and just biding his time to see if he's able to get some laps back here tonight. But I'll tell you what, the 5's doing all he can to help his teammate, you know, being that he's out of it here right now. We're 3 wide, and there goes the 60. Right into the wall. We have a big wreck. There goes the 7. Caution is still not out, and caution is out now. And, man, we were almost just...
Oh!
We might still be wrecking out back here. It might be Chris Walker. Here comes the yellow flag. We're going to jump back here. And as we were talking about Jeff Merck, and we're going to follow Jeff Merck here. You see him on the high side. We'll see if we can get to a chopper cam and see exactly what happened here. But as we were talking about the 60, it looks like the 7 there, that could be Danny Barnes. I know he was involved in this. As we have it in slow motion, you see all these cars 3 wide, and Danny Barnes is going to go up the racetrack just a little bit, get into the 60, put him into the fence. The 7's going to spin just about. There goes the 5. And he's going to come down into the 23 of Walker. The 7's going to come down, hit Niegels. So Cody Niegels having some bad luck here so far tonight. As the 7 sliding across the racetrack, Matthew Baker's going to ever so slightly spin him all the way around. And I think it was just the 7 coming up the racetrack just a little bit too much there.
Yeah, just a little bit, and it was enough that got him sideways, and then Chris Walker comes flying in, trying to avoid it, and locked up the brakes and just absolutely plowed into poor Danny Barnes shortly afterwards.
Yeah, you'll see it here. Chris Walker in the 23. He's also almost going to get nudged down by the 5 there, as you see him come down track. Nash Bill is trying to escape all the fray he can. He's going to get hit just a little bit. Here comes the 23 heavy on his brakes. He's going to slap the left side wall there with his. And I'll tell you what, he's got some heavy damage. So that's the second caution here tonight. We're going to take you back up live for what, well, looks like pit stops now. So pit road is very, very busy here.
Yeah, and I don't think the fuel is gonna. I don't think there's still gonna be enough fuel to make it to the end, but I think it's gonna be pretty close. Where fuel strategy is gonna play a big factor in this.
Well, that remains to be seen. But if you look down pit lane, we got a lot of cars right now. You see Cody Niegels, Jeffrey Merck. It looks like the 7 of Danny Barnes. He's coming out now. Jimmy Emos, Kenny McCullough, Richard Elliott, unfortunately on pit road. And yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's 2 big wrecks here so far tonight, and take you back up live with your leader. It's looking like it'll be Trevin Astronaut being scored the leader, at least on my screen.
Yep, it looks like the same. I believe he was the first one off of pits. Kenny Stamper. So you got KSR 1-2, and then Nathan Harper in third. Jesse Atchison, Daniel Everhart rounds out your top 5. But so far, looks like a few other cars. I just noticed Richard Elliott is leaving pit road now, so a lot of drivers are able to still be able to use either their fast repair or damage. So most of the drivers are back. Jeff Mark is still sitting. A lot of damage on the right front. I don't know if he has already used his fast repair though, as Jeff Mark is backing up on pit road now.
Bear with me, everybody watching. I'm trying to get these webcams fixed just a little bit. They were a little bit too big and covering some of our overlays here, but there's Trevin Astronaut. We'll see if we can get a word with the man that's leading this one. And unfortunately, I do not believe he is in the channel here tonight, so won't be able to get a word with Trevin Astronaut. Hopefully, if he gets into the top 3 or in victory lane here tonight, he will hop on over and we'll be able to talk to him. So we'll have to see if we can find somebody else to interview for our audience here tonight.
Big little update though, Chris Walker has retired from the race, so he must have already used his fast repair earlier, and then that second wreck pretty much ended his night right then and there.
And not too many to pull here that are on the webcams. A lot of these guys in other Discords here tonight, so unfortunately not able to bring some of these drivers in for a live interview. We'll have to see if we can catch up with some of the guys that are here later on down the road. And Matthew Baker, Jeff Merck, a couple of the guys that are here tonight, but trying to get a word with Joe Herta. He is also in the KSR Discord, so we'll see if we can get those guys over here before the end of the race. As we go back up front, your leader is the 89 of Trevin Astronaut. Kenny Stamper is in second, so all team KSR are here right now, and a good showing for them so far here tonight.
And I'm keeping an eye on pit road a little bit here, and just saw the number 60, Jeff Merck, use his fast repair. So Jeff Merck has already used his fast repair. I know a few others probably have as well. So not many drivers left with a fast repair. So a lot of these drivers now are going to have to really bide their time on what kind of moves they can make, because I think there's some other drivers, if they still have their fast repair, they're going to be really aggressive. So going to have to watch how they play and just not be friendly, but at the same time be aggressive.
Well, we are set to go green once again. You see Jared Haynes there in the 7. He's another driver carrying an onboard camera here tonight as the pace car is heading down pit lane. We're going to bring it back up front. Trevor Astronaut is going to lead everybody down yet again as we get to the Geico restart zone again, and the green flag is back in there for the 3rd time tonight. Got a little crank it up action there here as we are back green and racing towards the halfway point here. This is lap 24 of 50, so another time or two by, we will be halfway on this 50 laps here tonight. We've had, I believe, 3 cautions so far, or 2 cautions was it, I believe, Tyler, right?
Yes, 2 cautions so far. We did have an incident that I surprised did not throw a caution, which was Matthew Baker and Landon Pilecki getting turned on the backstretch at one point during the in between the first and second caution. That is the one reason why both of those drivers are a lap down, but looks like they're trying to take as much momentum as they can. It's further back. Oh my goodness, almost, I think that was, Merck was over there. It might have been Matthew Lee almost getting sent into the outside wall. They were having to check up a bit.
I'll tell you what, who's getting racing right now is the 06 of David Sheets from Wake Forest, North Carolina. He's going to jump all the way up to the third lane and be in front of his teammate, the 03 of Kenny McCullough. But I'll tell you what, he better hold the steady wheel. Kenny McCullough is trying to give him a push and a shout all the way to the front. Here comes KSR's Joe Horta. He's going to jump out, and the 28 as well. Here comes Jesse Atkinson. Horta's going to go back down. Atkinson's going to now lead the top. He's got Team McCullough in his rear view mirror. We are 3 wide racing all the way through the field.
Yeah, and with Nathan Harper leading the low lane, Trevor Ashenoff and Nathan just pulls up in front of Trevor Ashenoff. They had a KSR line there for a bit in the middle lane. Meanwhile, I believe Ron Morris Jr. is leading the third lane, or that might be Joe Horta. I apologize. I see a bright orange car, but I cannot see the number.
No, it's all good. That 28, that Mac Tools machine, that is going to be Jesse Atkinson leading that third lane right now. It's about a 5 or 6 car train up top. And right now, they're holding their own, trying to get to the front. Nathan Harper's leading the bottom. Trevor Nashman off the middle. He's getting a big push down the back from the 30 of Kenny Stamper. So right now, business is picking up, and that third lane is working with only 5 cars. Trev's going to go down to the bottom. Stamper's loose. He's almost going to get turned. He's going to hold it together. We're 3 wide, almost 4 wide right now.
Joshua McCullough just had a massive save. He's still sideways, but he's going to lose the entire pack because of that as well. But Trevor Rossoff's leading, and he is getting left out to dry as Daniel Eberhardt and Nathan Harper getting a huge push coming to the line.
Man, chaos on that lap. The field spread out just a little bit for a second, but they're all going to come back to each other yet again as we are still 3 wide. Most everyone in the middle. Nathan Harper's going to get left out just a little bit. He's going to be in no man's land. Are they going to split him or are they going to stay with him? Joe Horta's going to stay with him, it looks like. And we are 3 wide still with only 3 cars in the outside lane. The 90's going to go to the middle. That's going to open up the door for the 30 of Kenny Stamper. So the 90 right now doing a great job. Daniel Eberhardt the third, and Danny Lane's keeping the temps fresh behind him. He looks right now to be the favorite to win this one here tonight.
As Daniel Eberhardt jumps up to the outside as Nathan Harper's getting ready to push Daniel Eberhardt because Trevor Rossoff was probably getting overheating as Trevor had a massive push from his KSR teammate as he blinked out there for a second. Kenny Stamper leading the line, and Trevor Rossoff blinking there a little bit, which that's the first time this race, which that's a good sign for him, especially I know in past races he's had some little internet connection issues that sporadically hits him every so often.
We have 23 laps to go here. It's a Sunday night in McCullough Motorsports Money Racing in the Xfinity car at Talladega. If you are just joining us halfway through, we've had a couple cautions here tonight, a couple big wrecks. We are 100% fuel one faster pair. We've had many of these cars come down pit road and get that faster pair already. So racing hard here just past the halfway point. I'll tell you what, the 4 and the 90 have been the class of this field. We'll have to see if the likes of Cody Neagles, Matthew Baker, some of the guys that came in as your favorites can make their way back to the front. You see 60 of Jeff Merkin, that P2SB machine. He is leading the top lane here tonight. We've talked a lot about the 28 of Atkinson. He has been up in front as well. He was out your outside pole sitter. And Joe Horta, he's making an appearance here in the top 5. He's pushing the 90 down the back straightaway. Joe Horta right now, he's going to be leading the middle. And he's got a really good pusher behind him, and it's the 6th, the extra life of Cody Neagles.
Yeah, and Cody Neagles is always a great pusher here. Joe was able to get up to the front, sit in top 5 right now. Meanwhile, Nathan Harper just giving Daniel Eberhard another great push. Right behind them is the KSR duo of Kenny Stampert and Trevor Azarnoff. Meanwhile, Nashburn Billow in the 25 is in this mix. Got the 5 back in it as well of or it might not be Matt. It might still be Matthew Baker, actually. Numbers throw me off. But Matthew Baker, he's the first lap down car, but he's still in this mix, though, trying to help out. All he needs is one caution, but he's got to make sure not to get involved in it either. Jumps up to the outside lane to get help from Jeff Merck, and up on the high side as they're going to go 3 wide for it looks like about 7th or 8th, roughly.
Well, I'll tell you what, Baker's thinking, hey, I'm going to go up there and unlap myself. That's the best chance of me getting my lap back. If I can get out front and lead laps, let everything happen behind me, and that's a way and a ticket to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, and that'll open up another spot for a guy that is a lap down. So we'll have to see, because right now the 5 and the 60 fading just a little bit. They're in the top lane with no help.
Yeah, no help here with the Xfinity cars. Usually means no good, but man, Jeff DeMerck kind of gave him a massive shove, but only having 2 cars isn't the greatest, as Joe Horta's now leading the low line. Whoa, Kenny Stamper got a little loose there.
And this is some excellent racing here tonight, very action-packed, and that's one reason why the SummerSlam 499 will be at this track in this package, because the Xfinity Series cars right now are providing some of the best drafting action there is. Still a couple issues with them. We saw it on Thursday night in PGR when, unfortunately, myself was turned on the last lap. You get a little bit of netcode action there when you got guys being super aggressive, pushing through the turns. It is unfortunate, but nonetheless, this is the best drafting package. As you see, the 25 of Nash Bill, he's going to lead that top lane for PGR.
Yeah, Nash Bill representing PGR well, especially Nathan Harper. I think the only 2 PGR guys in this race. So they're trying to do as much as they can representing PGRs. Meanwhile, we're about to go 3 wide as Daniel for a second, I thought was going to go up to the outside lane to block Nash, but thought second of it, because otherwise that would have been a massive pileup at the front.
Yeah, this is just excellent racing. Like I said, the 5 is back in the fray here, trying to unlap himself. So we'll have to see if he's able to do that, or you know what, he could also be in a bad spot in case we do have a big wreck up front here. But we are 3x3 all the way through this field, and no one giving any room right now. It is aggression from the start of this one, with the wreck right out on lap number 1 coming out of turn number 4. You know what, man, these guys have been on it tonight. I don't know if it was the delay because iRacing was down. These guys are on that gas pedal, and it is no lift push nearly all the way around this 2.66 mile super speedway.
Yeah, absolutely not, as we are 3x3x3, 4, 5, 6 rows deep, and Nash Bill is getting side drafted massively by Daniel Eberhardt. He jumps down to the low lane in front of Joe Horta, as Nathan had to check up a little bit just to be able to give himself some room, as Boyd, the top lane, just got really dicey there.
Yes, it did, and it's been a little tough for that top lane here tonight. Matthew Baker's going to file back down here into the middle. That's going to leave Nash Bill with very little help, as you see those guys about 4 or 5 car lengths back from the front of this pack. And 90 doing still a great job of changing lanes, but I'll tell you what, that 6 Cody Neagles, he's back in the fray. He's been beaten and banged all tonight on some cautions, and they were not his fault. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but Cody Neagles has found a way to get that car fixed up just enough to get back in the fray here to the front. And right now, I'll tell you what, he stays out there and he stays in the front. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with as we click off these laps here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially Cody's won some previous big money league racing. Well, not money league racing, but some big money events. In, like, I believe ERA was a big one he won. So he is definitely a veteran when it comes to some big money races and stuff. So he's got all the experience. Nash Bill is trying to hang on to the outside with help from Jeff Merck. Meanwhile, Daniel Eberhardt jumping back down, going back and forth on between the middle and the bottom and top lanes. Joe Horta now is going to push Daniel Eberhardt, while Cody Neagles is going to lead that middle line. Coming out of turn 2, Nash Bill has got some help there on the outside, and he's going to start making a big run here on the outside.
We just showed you a little race break right there, the JSR Jack Shack, and we'll see if the Jack Shack can be rocking tonight with the number 1, because he is going straight to the lead here if he can get a good push by the 4 of Nathan Harper. Daniel Eberhard getting pushed by the 6 of Cody Eagles. Nash Brambilla, he's going to fight back with Jeffrey Merck behind him. We are 3 by 3 right here, and it's so far, I'll tell you what, these guys are doing a great job of keeping each other straight here, as we have 16 to go, now 15 to go at the line. The laps are ticking down. The aggression levels is going to go up, and we'll have to see who's going to want it more here tonight.
Yeah, the aggression level is going to start jumping up tenfold here, especially with 15 to go. I think the other question is, with 100% fuel, I could be wrong, but I think either they have enough fuel or they are just barely short, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't run a 100% fuel race at Talladega in a while, so I could be wrong on those fuel calculations.
And we'll have to see. I know I wasn't able to get a full calculation of this fuel here tonight. Seems like they might be able to make it. I could be wrong, but a lot of passing going on here in the middle of the pack. Daniel Eberhard still doing a great job of holding off this field, blocking middle, coming on back down, keeping the cars behind him with fresh temperatures. Cody Eagles, though, right now getting a big push. That's a teammate of his and Matthew Lee in the 04. They usually do run together, so right now they are linked up here in the middle, and we have a wreck, but we got one. We'll have to see if the caution's out. I don't see a caution just yet.
Yeah, I don't see a caution either yet, but that was a big caution's out. Oh, someone's motor just grenaded. I believe that was David Sheets' motor just grenaded.
All right, we're going to have to go back here. I saw the 30 of Kenny Stamper get knocked on down the track, but we'll have to find out exactly what happened here as we take you in slow motion. Keep an eye on the 30 of Kenny Stamper. There comes Atchison. He's going to come down the track. We'll have to see if he got a bad push. We'll have to get you to a chopper view of this one, as you see it right here. Atchison's just going to lose it a little bit. He's going to come down, get into the 30 of Kenny Stamper. That's going to shoot Stamper down the track. We'll see if we can get a better ride on here with maybe Matthew Baker. Yeah, Atchison kind of went up the track, almost got into the 25 of Nash Brambilla. He's going to end up coming down, getting into the 30. He's going to go back up the track in front of the 54 machine. He's going to be a little sideways there. And there you see the checkup. The 03 is going to get into the 22 of Jones. That's going to send Sheets down into the inside wall. And you see the Trevin Astronaut right there trading paint with the 28 of Atchison. So that's what happens though. You got a little wreck in front, and it's just going to stack up the field a little bit, and a couple of those guys just had nowhere to go. Unfortunately, it's going to bring out our third caution of the night.
Yep, and I can confirm Kenny Stamper has used his fast repairs, so it's another driver without a fast repair for these last roughly 10 green flag laps when we do go back under green.
It looks like Daniel Eberhard is being scored your leader. Cody Eagles in second. Looks like Joe Horta in third, Matthew Lee in fourth, and Nash Brambilla in fifth. So that'll be your top 5 as of right now. It looks like Veliky might be getting a lap back. The OSM machine's going to go around the pace car. So good news for Veliky here.
Matthew Baker, unfortunately, because I think he got involved a little bit of that wreck, he loses out, because I believe Baker was a front of Landon Veliky, but I could be mistaken as well.
Well, we could bring in Matthew Baker here and try to get some insight onto what his strategy is going to be here. Looks like he's still going to be scored a lap down. He is on pit road. Looks like he's exiting pit road right now, and it's been a kind of a rough night for the 5 of Matthew Baker, but we are going to try to bring him in and see what's going on with that 5 machine. Matthew Baker, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a kind of...
why the hell you're interviewing me?
Well, I'll tell you why, because a lot of these guys aren't in here tonight, so we're having trouble finding anybody to interview, but I know you were fighting hard for that lap back there, and unfortunately it looks like just couldn't get there.
Yeah, And they just threw the caution late for 2 people off, but they couldn't throw a caution for me when it was 2 people off. I got fucking towed, so whatever. We'll try and salvage it back up. I think I'm only car a lap down, so I'm just gonna ride in the back here and hope for a caution.
Well, that's all you can do. Not a happy camper there in the 5 of Matthew Baker. Hopefully he can get back on the lead lap and back into this race, but not a happy camper there is the 5, and rightfully so. A little bit of a late caution for him, and we'll see. I've heard him on the radio like this before, as you do many times from other guys on the track, and you know how it is, Tyler. We're out there, we're heated, and it's in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, and that's what makes it really tough. And I think what makes it really more heated for Matthew Baker is that with Landon Vlecki getting his lap back, Vlecki was part of that incident with Matthew Baker. So, I know Baker was probably still heated because of that. And seeing that Vlecki's got his lap ahead of him, it just adds fuel to the fire, which I don't blame him. So, I mean, he's only a lap down, but like he said, you're gonna have where there's going to be about 10 to go when we do come to green. So the aggression level is going to be a lot higher. A lot of drivers either still have their fast repair or do not have their fast repair. So that puts in a thing as well. There are going to be some drivers like Nathan Lyon, Daniel Eberhardt, I think, Joe Porta, I believe, is another driver that may still have their fast repair that they're probably don't mind being aggressive.
Well, absolutely. Well, while we have a second here before we go back green, we can get a word with Team PGR's Nash Brambilla. Nash Brambilla, do you got a copy?
Hey, what's up, boss man?
Not too much here, man. We got a lot of guys not in the Discord here tonight, so we're trying to find guys to interview, and we're gonna interview you because right now you're showing in the 5th or 6th position here in that 25 machine. You're carrying the SummerSlam logo on the front, and you've been up front nearly all night long. It looks like you were working that 3rd lane just a little bit, and tell us kind of how the racing is out there. It looks pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's super aggressive. I was starting blinking at the 3rd car in line, so I had to go up top, but we just barely couldn't get that. Probably was clear a couple laps earlier, but I just didn't take it in time. But man, it's great racing out here. Tough final 10 laps, and hopefully get the job done. The SummerSlam 499 logo.
Well, absolutely, Nash. Appreciate talking to you. Hopefully we're talking to you soon, bud. Good luck.
Yes, sir. See you in victory lane.
That was Nash Brambilla there. He is right there, right where he wants to be as the pace car is heading down to pit lane here when we do hit the start-finish line. There will be only 10 laps to go in this one, Tyler. So right now our favorites, we've been talking about them, Daniel Eberhardt and also Nathan Harper, but the 2 guys that we're going to talk about now are going to be the 6 of Cody Neagles and the 04 of Matt Lee. They've made their way back to the front here tonight, and right, those guys right now will be working together to team up and try to take the victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, and Cody Neagles had a really bad start as Daniel Eberhardt and Matthew Lee just timed that perfectly as Daniel Eberhardt chose the top side for that restart. Nathan Lyon now is going to push Matt Lee now, trying to push him to the front. A little bit of a stack up further back, but 2x2 for the first four rows as everyone's starting to get up to speed now coming down the backstretch.
Well, we'll have to see. I know Cody Neagles, he may have had a bad restart, but he also could be very calculated in what his maneuvers are going to be. Obviously, right now, him and Matt Lee are looking out front, and they're seeing that 90 of Daniel Eberhardt, and they're probably trying to figure out a way to get around him to be able to control the lanes and keep him at bay. And so far, the 90's doing a great job of staying out front. And Nathan Harper doing a good job of pushing Matthew Lee. It looks like Matthew Lee will actually lead that lap. Jeffrey Merck right now, here he comes into your screen in the 60. He's going to lead that outside lane. He's on that lead lap, and he's charging. The 76, Ron Morris Jr. behind him. We'll see if that 3rd lane can come in late here. We have 9 laps to go. Action is heating up.
Yeah, and Jeff Merck had a big run. Meanwhile, Trevor Ozernoff was trying to put a lot of side draft on it, trying to slow up that run, but that did not work. As here we go, 3x3, 3 wide for the lead now. As here goes both Daniel Eberhardt and Jeff Merck trying to go for the win here.
That'd be a good time to pull up Jeff Merck's webcam. There you see him in that 60 machine from Punta Gorda, Florida. I'll tell you what, those are some pretty colors. It'd be awesome to see that Camaro get to victory lane here tonight, but he looks like he's going to get hung out just a little bit. Are we going to have a wreck? No, we're not.
Oh, there goes
yeah,
Nathan.
there goes.
Big pileup. Big pileup on the outside as a few more cars are spinning further ahead. And we got some more smoke even further down towards the backstretch as well.
I'll tell you, one guy I know was in that was the Ford Nathan Harper. You see all the damage to that Ford right there. We tried to get it to you. We're going to go back because that was a big one here. Landon Velicky involved, Nathan Harper. Danny Barnes went off the track. Looks like Wyatt Gray, Dylan Jones, Joshua McCullough, Trevin Ashroth. A lot of cars mangled up here in this one. You see right there the 05 just bouncing off the racetrack, trying to get the pit road without towing. And man, oh man, that was a big one here.
Yeah, that was, I mean, at least 5 cars, and at least minimum 5 cars involved. And we know for sure now Nathan's Harper's absolutely going to have to use his fast repair. Jesse Atchison, he's coming in the pit road right now. He's going to have to use a fast repair. That whole nose is gone, unless he's already has used it. But there's a few drivers that were involved in that I believe still have fast repair. But that was a massive pileup. And actually, I think Trevor Osternoff, sitting in pit road now, I think he might not have used this fast early as well. So Trevor might be in some big trouble here.
Well, here's the slow motion. Look at the top of your screen here. The 76 is going to push the 60 up the racetrack a little bit. He probably didn't want to take the spot. Wasn't really trying to do that. And then he came down. He's going to get in the 4. Almost looks like net codes on Nathan Harper. Nathan Harper, there you go. See the 1 of Joe Herta trying to avoid that. There goes the 7 of Haynes. He's going to go up, clip the 03 just a little bit. The 4 is then going to get bounce off the 7. He's going to come down the track. Unfortunately, get into Nash Brambilla. The 4 is going to get sent up the track. Take out the 89, the 06, and the 05. Man, look at the 05. His wheels are riding on the wall, the catch fence. Unbelievable wreck here for the 4 and the 05 and the 89. You see the bumpers flying on the racetrack. Landon Velicky's involved. It looks like the 54 as well. And just complete chaos.
Yeah, looked like Dylan Jones spinning around as well, and then 62's trying to save it. 19 barely made it through this potentially. A lot of good clean race cars getting involved in that round.
And we'll see if we can go right on board with the cockpit cam of that 05, because I'll tell you what a ride it was for the 05 machine. I believe that's Joshua McCullough. We'll hop into his cockpit and we'll go real time. This is Joshua McCullough. That's an unbelievable wreck there for Joshua McCullough. And a lot of race cars torn up in that one. We're going to go back to the front. And it looks like Matthew Lee going to be scored in first right now. 4th caution of the night, 6 to go. It's going to be 5 to go at the line. We will go green. And it will not be a green-white checkered. So we're going to avoid those for now. But what a wreck there. A lot of race cars torn up.
Yeah, that was a lot, and I think Trevor may have already used his fast repair because he is still sitting on pit road, and it has been over 3, 4, almost close to 4 minutes now that Trevor has been in pit road. David Sheets in the pits for over 2 minutes. Might not be good for those drivers, as what a rough wreck that was.
It sure was. Well, we have some time. We're going to bring in the 60 of Jeff Merck. Jeff Merck, you got a copy?
What's up, guys?
Oh, well, you tell us, man. This has been a crazy race. The fourth caution of the night, man. We've had some big ones, but I'll tell you one thing. That PTSD, that blue and teal, well, the teal and black machine, that 60 is looking stout. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Rob Morris did a hell of a job painting the PTSD car. It's PTSD Awareness Month. Not all wounds are visible. So we are going to try to go get the W, or at least get in a good paying money spot, and see what happens for the NBG team here.
Well, your wife Dawn in the chat, she's watching you here tonight. That car does look really good. It looks like you're going to have 4 to go when we go back green here. I know you got some guys you ran with up here front, but we all know that, you know, all gloves are off. You're going to go for that win. And are you thinking the third lane? What are you thinking you're going to be doing here as we wind them down?
It depends on what line has all the momentum. I mean, it's going to be tough in this where I'm at right now. I know I got Ken behind me. I know he likes to jump third. It just, yeah, I mean, we might go third. We might stay middle. We might go bottom. You just have to wait and see what unfolds here.
Well, that we will, Jeff. We're going to let you get back to the race here tonight, but hopefully we'll be talking to you very soon in Victory Lane.
That's the plan. I do want to give a shout out to my wife inside watching. Love you, and I'm going to try to put this car in Victory Lane for you, baby.
And there you heard it. It's the 60 of Jeffrey Merck, and he is looking to get to Victory Lane here tonight. Doing a great job right now as Daniel Eberhard, the 90, will be your leader. The 04 Matthew Lee will lead on the outside. Cody Neagles, he will start in row number 2 on the bottom in the 6. Jeffrey Merck, who we just spoke to, he'll start in row number 2 on the top. Ron Morris Jr., haven't talked about him a lot tonight. There he is with his McCullough Motorsport teammate Kenneth McCullough Jr. It's a McCullough Motorsports third row, so I'll tell you what, we'll see if those guys can link up here tonight.
Yeah, also put into effect, Matthew Baker, shout out to Matthew Baker's mom who just joined in the chat. Baker just got back on the lead lap, so watch out. He might be a factor here too.
He sure can be. We're in the Geico restart zone, and we are back racing here at Talladega. It's going to be 4 laps to go at the line, and I'll tell you what, we are wire to wire. Let's do this thing, Tyler. Its action is going to heat up right now as Daniel Eberhard peels off into turn number 1. We are 2 by 2, but it's not going to be like that for long.
No, it's not. As right now, still 2 by 2 coming off of 2. Who is going to jump out to force that 3 wide? Meanwhile, I'm keeping an eye further back. Matthew Baker's doing everything he can. Everyone's still jostling for position in first and second row. Nash Brambilla moves up to the middle line, trying to set up something as well. Meanwhile, Jeff DeMerck is absolutely shoving Matt Lee right now as Daniel Eberhardt's got a big run on that low line. Cody Neagles right behind him trying to plot out what his next move is as well.
It'll be interesting to see the third lane trying to form out in the back. So far, nothing doing. The 04, I'll tell you what, he's not able to get clear. The 60 is going to get hot. So it's all about controlling temperatures right now up front. Daniel Eberhard was doing a great job earlier. There goes Matthew Lee to the bottom. That's going to open up the door for Jeffrey Merck. He's getting pushed by the 03 of Kenny McCullough Jr. So we'll have to see how this is all going to shape out. This is going to pin Cody Neagles back just a little bit, and I know he's going to be a little bit antsy. We'll have to see. Here comes Jeff Merck here in the middle, getting a great push. He's side by side with your leader of the 04 of Matthew Lee. So far, no pressure from a third lane as we peel down into turn number 3.
Yeah, and we are still 2 by 2. No one has made a move yet as we are coming to, I believe, 2 to go this time. And everyone's still trying to decide when is the right move. Richard Elliott's in the mix. Dylan Jones, Nash Brambilla on the low side. We've got Joe Huerta is also on that 4th row. Oh, we got a little contact there with J.R. Miller, I believe. Or I could be wrong. I saw that was a PGR color. I don't know who it was, but we had a little bit of contact there on the 4th row.
Well, 2 laps to go. If we get around and get to the white flag, it'll be an official race. Matthew Lee right now, he controls the race. He is going lane to lane, keeping temps behind him cool. Matthew Lee right now getting a push from the 60 down here. The Talladega Alabama Gang super stretch. And the third lane is here, and it's being led by the 05 of Joshua McCullough. Here comes, I believe, Jared Haynes. He's going to go up and cut that lane off. Do they have enough time to get to the front? Who else is going to jump out? Will it be the one of Joe Huerta? We are 2 by 2 in the front. Here comes the third lane. Oh, I'll tell you what. No, it's breaking up just a little bit. Matthew Lee right now. He's going to be your leader here with 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go. Matt Lee easily a car length ahead. Comes down and blocks Daniel Eberhard. Meanwhile, Jeff Merck sitting up top of we got some cars getting
looks like Jared Haynes got into the wall, but we're going to take you back up front. We're going to stay with Matthew Lee and Jeffrey Merck. Is Kenny McCullough going to be able to push the 60? Does he have the temps? So far, so good. The 4 is not clear, so right now we might have a drag race down to the finish lane. Nothing right now here in the third. Richard Elliott's trying. Nobody's going to go with him. So right now it's 2 by 2, and it's between Matthew Lee and Jeffrey Merck. Who's going to give them the better push? Who has the most temps? Matthew Lee off pace. He's going to come down. He's going to come back up. Right now, the 60 of Jeff Merck. He's got this thing in the bag. If he's able to get a great push by the 03, he's not going to come down. He's going to get hooked just a little bit. Is he going to hold it? It is Jeffrey Merck at the line.
What a win for Jeff Merck. He is probably cheering right now, and I think Don's going to be really happy as well. But what a win! Let's see how close that was.
I will let me tell you this, but I accidentally did not hide his webcam, and that might have been the best. That might have been the best thing I did all night. Kind of not feeling that well here tonight. Got a little bit of a late start. Something I really didn't want to do, and I'll tell you what, that might just be the best thing I did all night as we take you back to the checkered flag. An unbelievable finish. Watch this one. You'll have to see it to believe it. And, well, this is in real time on the track. This is the replay of the race. Jeff Merckx in real time right there, happier as can be. But watch this. 03 went for the win. He's going to get the 60 loose here as we get close to the start-finish line. Now we're going to roll it a little bit different here. We're going to take you up front. We're going to slow it down. There goes the 03. He wanted to win this race. He had Joe Horta behind him. Merck's going to look to go down. He's going to stay up. He's going to slide off the nose of the 03 and go all the way up in a lane by himself. And Kenny's going to come down. I wonder if Kenny should have stayed middle there, and maybe he would have won the race and got pushed by the 1. A photo finish at the line, though. It is Jeffrey Merck just inching out the 03 of Kenny McCall. I'll tell you what, Kenny might want that one back just a little bit, but nonetheless, what a finish. Jeffrey Merck, your race winner, Kenny McCall in second, and rounding out your podium, and we will hopefully get an interview with all them, is Joe Herta. Nash Brambilla, he came back, he'll finish in fourth, and Matthew Lee will be rounding out your top 5, and heartbreak here tonight for Dylan Jones, Daniel Eberhardt mostly, because he was up front most of the race, ends up finishing in the 7th position. But what a finish.
Yeah, that was a wild finish. I mean, man, Merck did everything right that he needed to do that entire race, and he got himself set up in the right spot, and great finish for him. I know he used a little bit of door on Kenny because he knew he needed a door slam a little bit there into the line because it was going to be close. I mean, shoot, Joe Horta had a massive run on both of them too. And Joe could have squeezed as well if needed, but boy, what a finish. That was an awesome finish to the race.
Man, it sure was. We're going to try to get these guys up into the booth for some interviews here. Man, my heart's still pounding from that one. I'll tell you what, we were able to interview Jeff Merck, and we left his webcam up, and his wife's watching. I mean, wow. And she's in the chat. Great race. And wow, that gum is taking a beating. And yes, it was, man. That gum was taking a beating here tonight. Jeffrey Merck, man, well-deserved win for him. And, man, I'm glad to see him in victory lane. We're going to try to find Joe Horta, and I think we have him. Tyler, I'm going to let you take Joe Horta as we bring him up here into the chat. Joe Horta, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Joe, that was a wild event for you. I know you got caught up earlier in that area big one. Just what was your thoughts going through that recovery, being able to get to third place?
Yeah, it was a really fun race. That first wreck off turn 4, I think on the first lap, I hit him pretty hard, but I didn't get much damage. So I knew from that point I just had to work my way through the field, work pretty good. Bad luck throughout the race, but glad I was able to carry the KSR and old Jack Shack banner and get a podium here.
That's the great part about it, especially being able to bring your KSR guys into being able to bring them into third. What was your idea there on that final lap? I know things got a little wild there trying to figure out a way to try to get around Merck or Kenny. Were you kind of like set on trying to get the win on forcing it 3, or was that gap like just there was no option there?
The line was going to be pretty tough unless Kenny went all the way down to the inside. So really I was committed to Kenny. But that I was getting
there was a gap, I was going to take it. But get all three of us in trouble. Make sure we're still all in the cash.
Well, Joe, that was a great run there too. Anyways, being able to survive some of the melee that happened at the initial start of the race. I know you and the rest of KR guys, I know you guys got some shout outs and stuff. If you want to go ahead and do those shout outs real quick.
Shout out to Chris Walker, Trevor Osmanoff, Kenny Stamper. They were in this. We're gonna try to get some of the top 5 spots, but it didn't work out. There's always next race, so. But glad I was able to get this one.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, great race again. Congrats on the third place finish, and enjoy the rest of the night. I know you're getting ready for that SummerSlam series coming up. I believe you've already put your entry in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm excited for that one.
Absolutely. We'll wish you all the luck there on that one, as that one's coming up July 27th and 28th. So be on the lookout for Joe Horta there. Everyone watching on the broadcast, Horta is going to be one to keep an eye out for.
And that he is. That was your third place finisher, Joe Horta, here tonight for Team KSR. We are going to bring the boss man of the series, the MMS series here. It is your runner-up, Kenny McCullough Jr. Got a copy, bud?
Hell yeah, brother. I got you.
Man, hell yeah is right. We're going to go on board here with the 03. This is you here on the last lap. And I'll tell you what, probably a lot of things going through your head here. I wonder if you might want maybe one little move taken back here coming to the start-finish line. I wonder if you could stay middle there. Would you have stayed middle and maybe got enough push from the one? Or do you think you made the right move there and got the best you can tonight?
My main thing there was I was 900 on one of the temperature gauges and I was 800 on the other. I was double blinking red. When Mert pulled up to put a block on me, all I knew is I needed to get some fresh air to the front air. I was going to pop right before the line. And when I moved down, I went down a little too far and I didn't. I figured Joe was going to be the deciding factor there. He was going to go with me or Mert, but I did not realize I gave him room in the middle there. I was like, oh no, we in trouble.
Well, we just showed it here on a live replay, and then after that, yeah, he was in the middle of you guys, and you kind of came up the pinch, rightfully so, to try to edge Merck to the line and kind of sandwiched him, and you guys, man, touching across the line. Man, what a finish by the 60 and yourself, man. These are the races you live for, though. These are the races. This is why you put these on, man, and couldn't ask for anything better tonight. Is that kind of how you saw it?
Man, be honest with you, I was just happy to finish. I did not want to get Merck loose coming out of 4. I know that's been a big problem in the Xfinity cars. Out of 4, usually the leader on the bottom usually gets screwed in that situation. But I didn't want to get Merck loose. I was glad to see him win it. Good for Merck.
It was good for Merck, and like we always do, we thank the guys that put these races on. So Kenny, we appreciate you having us here in the booth here tonight. And I wasn't feeling too well, and I was trying to get back up to my wife. But I'll tell you what, I'm happy that I was able to call this race. But before we let you go tonight, I know you have another season. I believe it's the 3rd season of your team your team series coming up, where we draw for teams, which to me is one of the coolest series in money racing out there. Do you want to kind of explain that and tell us when it's coming back?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm going to release the information tomorrow on the format and the schedule, but I'm not going to put a date on the schedule till we get at least 30 drivers signed up, which I don't think that's going to take too long this time. I got a lot of drivers that are interested in running this series, so I think once I post the information tomorrow, I think within a week we'll have 30 plus drivers. But yeah, really big payouts this season. Going to be a little bit interested, even some payouts for the highest finishing team that don't make the championship. So it benefits everybody to come and race the whole season, because there's still really good payout for, the top team outside of the championship. So looking forward to the season to get started. Thank you for sticking around tonight. I know it ran a little late, some technical difficulties with our racing, but thanks for staying around and sticking it out. Turned out to be a pretty decent race. And thank the teammates and thank everybody for showing up.
Well, we appreciate you, boss man. We'll hopefully get another word with you soon, man. Congrats. Go celebrate. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Well, that was your second place finisher, runner-up here tonight, Kenny McCullough Jr. But I'll tell you what, It's not Jeff Merck. It's not Merkalicious, but it's going to be his wife Alicious. It's going to be Dawn Merck doing the interview for her husband. Dawn Merck, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what. Walk us through this because you're watching this race. I accidentally, which I should have had already, but I had him up there on the webcam. How funny was it to watch that back and see how happy he was crossing that start finish line first here tonight?
It was like the first time that the camera stayed on him as he won. And then, boy, that gum was taking a chew, and it was just. I mean, I am so glad I was not in the room listening to that.
Well, you might have to, go and see exactly what gum he was chewing, and we might have to give them a call up and see if they could sponsor the SummerSlam 499 this July, because that would be a great video to show them. I'll tell you what, I'm surprised if there's any gum left in that mouth because, he was he was so happy. I'll tell you what, he deserves it. But you're around as a lot of our wives are, and we all put a lot of time and effort into this racing thing, and we have some fun doing it. But, that also sometimes it's unfortunate. You guys got to take a back seat to us sometimes, and, we have to, race when we can. But no, we also have to spend time with the wife. But you've seen Jeff. He's really, really good at this, but he's also had a lot of bad luck. Is it, what do you feel when he does get, to cross that start finish line first? And, how happy are you for him?
Excited when he wins because then he doesn't come in the house all crabby and moody. But I mean, he works hard for it, and and for him not to win, knowing that he bust his ass doing it, and then it doesn't pan out right, and then I just like seeing him win because he deserves it.
He does. I actually believe I did say that earlier in the broadcast that when guys like him win, they're very so much deserving of that win. And I'll tell you what, we did have an event at PGR earlier in the year. It was a better half dash. I believe it was around Valentine's Day. Were you in that race? I totally forget if you were in that race.
No, I was not because he had an old chair that I would not be able to fit into. Now I fit nice into this one, so the next time you guys have that race, I may have to go in there and wreck a couple people.
Well, that's what we were going to get to because it's, my wife, obviously we just had our second child, so she'll be ready to hop back in the seat again herself. So we'll have to look at a fall date for the next better half dash and get you up in that seat and see if you can do what your husband did here tonight, and that's get to victory lane. But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out on behalf of him or yourself, and anything else you'd like to tell us here tonight?
I'd like to thank him. Just thank him for everything.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want to thank him too for being the best Uber driver in the state of Florida. He will give you a ride to the Daytona 500 from the Orlando airport. It's Jeffrey Merck in Victory Lane with his wife, Dawn Merck. Very much appreciate you joining us. Hope you guys go and have a drink and go celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was your race winner's wife, Dawn Merck. One of the coolest interviews yet to do, and I'm fortunate enough, you and I, Tyler, to call the race and be able to get a word with her. That was pretty cool. And man, what a race, what a finish here tonight, man. And man, that's all you ask for in these is to have a great finish. As you see Merck jumping back in his chair, and man, what a race, Tyler.
Yeah, that was wild, especially after the big pileup we had at the start, and then everyone, like a lot of aggressive racing there throughout all the way up to the end, and then the big caution that happened with 10 to go, and that really turned things on its head. But boy, that was an awesome finish. I loved it. I mean, Merck set everything up just right to be able to pull off that win, and I mean, like what Kenny said, he would have loved to get that win. I know he's been close a few times. Same with Joe Horta. I mean, sooner or later, those guys are going to be back in victory circle.
Absolutely. And before we let everyone go here tonight, I did pull up the results on the screen. And there you have it, Jeffrey Merck for NBG Motorsports. He is your race winner. Rounding out the podium in runner-up position was Kenny McCullough Jr. and Joe Horta of KSR. Nash Brambilla, he'll finish in fourth place here tonight. Matthew Lee in fifth. Dylan Jones finishes in 6th. Daniel Eberhardt III in 7th. Wyatt Gray in 8th. Matthew Baker in 9th. Cody Niegels in 10th.
Yep. Then Ron Morris rounding out in 11th. Joshua McCullough in 12th. Danny Barnes 13th. Richard Elliott in 14th. Then Landon Valecki, rough go for him, finishing in 15th. Kenny Stamper leading up in there at the early starts of the race, had an unfortunate crash, finishing 16th. Jimmy Emos managing jump up to 17th. Jared Hayes in 18th. Nathan Harper, another unfortunate victim, finishing in 19th. And then Jesse Atchison rounding out your top 20.
I had a little bit different on mine, actually, so I'm not sure if yours or mine's right. Nonetheless, I had Joey Allen in 21st, Jesse Atchison actually in 22nd, 23rd, David Sheets, Trevor Nashronoff in 24th, Mark Vondell in 25th, and rounding out your field here tonight, Chris Walker in 26th. But, man, what a heck of a race on this Sunday night. And, you know, like Kenny McCullough said, he's going to bring back his team series. It'll be all drafted drivers, so you're going to want to get into that one. It is one of the best super speedway money racing leagues out there. It'll be starting up this time on a Sunday night, so it'll kind of take place of this specific race every Sunday, so that should be pretty interesting. But, well, it was a great night here, Tyler. On behalf of PGR eSports and Tyler Vickery and myself, I'd like to thank everyone for coming on out here tonight. All the viewers in the chat, especially Devin Ray, getting a lot of action in the chat. Mark Math, Dawn Merck's wife, enjoying the interview with her. It was one heck of a race. Photo finish. It was the 60 from NBG Motorsports. Jeffrey Merck getting the job done. And we will turn the page into a week with the holidays, so not going to be much on the PGR eSports network this week. But in a couple weeks, on a Tuesday night, it'll be the night of champions for RMR, as Matthew Baker, Michael Triscaro, Garrett Maines, and Jeffrey Merck will all go for the championship in RMR. And as we get closer and closer to the SummerSlam on July 27th and 28th, brought to you by PGR eSports. So for myself, Michael Triscaro, my broadcast partner here tonight, Tyler Vickery, we'll see you soon.